Our D-Day coverage continues with a new book that tells an incredible story. Just 2 days before the invasion, a group of U.S. Navy sailors captured a Nazi submarine. Navy Captain Daniel Gallery and his team seized the German U-boat in the Eastern Atlantic. They found a trove of vital intelligence. The book is called Codename Nemo, The Hunt for a Nazi U-Boat and the Elusive Enigma Machine. Author Charles Lachman joins us now. He is also the executive producer of Inside Edition, which, like CBS, is part of Paramount Global. Welcome. It is so great to have you here. You spent 3.5 years researching this book. Tell us about how it came to be and why you felt like this was an important part of history that should be told that many of us didn't know about.
Well, I'm not bad at World War II history, love history, written a couple of history books. I had no idea about the story of U-505. A few Thanksgivings ago, my wife and I were visiting one of our daughters in Chicago, and her boyfriend at the time wanted to keep the parents happy and created this whole itinerary and took us to the Museum of Science and Industry. And there, 4 levels down in a temperature-controlled pen is this Nazi U-boat. And I'm looking at this thing. I couldn't believe it. The site is awesome. I turned to my wife. I said, this is a book. And what followed was this incredible journey of research and finding the story that had not really been told before.
And it's told from both sides. Yes. You know, not just, the American side, but the German side. And it starts off really talking about how these boats are seized. But then there's this idea of, but what if we got on the submarine and we were able to get intelligence and secrets? How were they able to actually do that?
It's quite a yarn. It was conceived by this brilliant, innovative Navy captain, Dan Gallery. And he had the idea a few years back in 1942. It just struck him. And that idea simmered in his brain for a couple of years. And then he decided to see if he could pull it off. No one believed, even he didn't believe it was going to happen. He even called it a cockamamie idea. But he created this task force. They found 9 sailors, volunteers. It was really a suicide mission. And they forced a Nazi U-boat to the surface by pounding it with depth charges, just enough to force it to the surface. And then the sailors zoomed across the ocean, and the German sailors abandoned ship, and they climbed aboard and took control and found this treasure trove of intelligence.
It is amazing, Charles. I tell you, this is a movie. As I was reading, I think, this is definitely a movie. You know people, you got to figure this out. But let's talk about the relationship, or you can't really call it a friendship, about some of the soldiers. What did you learn about them? Because you got their diaries, you talked to their relatives.
Right.
Tell us what you learned.
One family, the Pickle family in Texas, Wayne Pickles was one of the heroes, the volunteers, and he kept this war diary. And it's interesting because he started off as a bosun, and he was painting his ship. That's really what he was doing. But he heard about this secret mission. He wanted to sign up. He volunteered, and he kept the war diary. And it was so eye-opening, this sort of young guy, high school hero quarterback. Suddenly he is involved in a mission that, in theory, could change the course of World War II.
The information that you got from the diaries and talking to the relatives, it's extraordinary. Maybe that's why Inside Edition is so good.
Such a good show.
Because of the research and what he does.
Mean, I watch it every night. I DVR it, and I watch it every night.
Our best.
The executive producer since 95?
95.
And going. Thank you, Charles Lachman.
Bravo,
Again,
bravo.
We appreciate you being here. Codename Nemo is on sale right now.